Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube, back with a video for you guys and gals. I'll try to get some Dark Shadows videos up for you tomorrow, but tonight I have a really fun video for you guys. I'm here to talk about Ghost. No, not literally real ghost. My God, I'm not that depraved. Uh, I'm here to talk about the fictional kind. You know, in franchises, in certain horror franchises, we often hear a town or a place in said town may be haunted. And I've often said there are parallels between Dark Shadows and Halloween. And I'm going to talk about the town of Haddonfield specifically here. So, is the town of Haddonfield haunted? Now, we don't, to be clear, we don't literally ever see a ghost, even in David Gordon Green's trilogy. There's no ghost. I mean, does Karen seeing little Michael count as a ghost? No, not really. So, from a scene standpoint, this is not Collinsport. This isn't Collinwood even. They're not. You're not seeing a literal ghost. Um, Now, is there mention of ghost in the in the town itself? About that. Now, there. Sorry, hit my microphone. There are ghosts mentioned, in a sense. One specific one, the boogeyman. The boogeyman is as old as time itself. Hell, it predates a lot of things. Might ask, well, what is the boogeyman in the Halloween franchise? The simple answer to this would be Michael Myers himself is the boogeyman because he goes around slashing premarital teens, any teen in general. Kids aren't safe. It is what it is, right? But is Michael really the boogeyman? Now, that is a question I have pondered often myself because when you think about the town of Haddonfield, you have to bring up a lot of things. When I say a ghost is mentioned and the ghost is the boogeyman, well, the boogeyman is, in a sense, a ghost. Because he's not something you literally see, mind you. He's more. How do I put this? Okay, kids, if you're in the sound of my voice and your parents and your grandparents are trying to scare the bejesus out of you about this whole boogeyman thing, it's 1000% bullshit. And I say that nicely. There's no real boogeyman. But from a fictional sense, when you look at the town of Haddonfield, is Michael the boogeyman, I ask again? And that answer is, well, it depends on which character you ask. Now, from my standpoint, is Michael the boogeyman? And still to this day, if I'm going off of John's original Halloween, like we all do, and you have to, it's the rule, it's the unwritten laws of Halloween. Um, I'm not sure. And you might say, well, how are you not sure? Tommy Doyle spots Michael across the street and says, that's the boogeyman. The problem with that is Tommy mentions the boogeyman well before he ever sees Michael. And to be fair to the young man, he doesn't know he's looking at a person that is Michael Myers. He doesn't know that that's Michael Myers underneath that mask. Just being fair. Now, the real tricky part of this whole boogeyman thing, you have to ask these questions. Number one, Did Michael Myers ever hear about this boogeyman? Now, whether they're brother or sister or not, I'm talking about Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, because for those who have, if you've never watched the Halloween franchise, number one, stop living under a rock. Number two, it's a horror movie. It's not going to kill you. It'll be fine. Baby steps. Baby steps. Um, number two, number three, Michael and Laurie are pretty close in age, whether they're brother or sister or not. Laurie Strode is 17, 18 when when she's a senior in high school. And by the way, it would not be class of 1978. H2O gets that wrong. It would be class of 1979. Um, just saying. And Michael Myers is 21. So, that being said, they would have both, if they did indeed hear the word boogeyman, they would have both heard it, throughout their childhood. Because again, and there's proof that Laurie has heard the word boogeyman before she's ever been a 17/18-year-old babysitter, when she keeps because post seeing Michael Myers, and again, to be clear, not that she knows that it's Michael Myers in the original Halloween. Nobody outside Dr. Loomis, the police, that includes Sheriff Brackett, and the idiot doctors at Smith's Grove Warren County Sanitarium know he's escaped. I'm including Nurse Merrington Whittington in that. She's pretty smart. She's okay. Michael himself stalks his victims like a literal phantom. No matter who, or his potential victims, sort of like a ghost almost. He's there one minute, he's not the next. You could make the case this is the boogeyman. This is the boogeyman brought to life. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong, but I will ask the question I've always asked her. Did Michael and Laurie hear the word boogeyman? Because if they did, and the problem with you can't say no, they didn't, when they're that close in age. It's not about them being brother and sister. It's about them being close in age. Well, again, one's 8. I'll put Laurie Strode at 18. One's 18, 17, 18. We'll say 17 for the H2O reference. So Laurie Strode is 17, a senior in high school. Michael Myers is 21. And John, yes, I know. They don't confirm that actual age until Halloween 2. Again, I know I'm taking a lot from the sister timeline, and yes, it is my favorite, but I'm not trying to specifically point to that timeline for this discussion I'm having. To say Laurie and Michael wouldn't have both heard about the boogeyman as kids would be ludicrous. I would say they both did, and with Laurie, well, we know what Michael's effect was no matter what, don't we? He murders people on Halloween. Not every Halloween, but Halloween. With Laurie, she starts thinking about the boogeyman, especially after seeing Michael watch her while she was in her classroom. Michael is stalking her, following her and her friends. This is the definition of a crazy killer following a helpless would-be victim. Not that Laurie Strode's going to get killed off, but still. This definitively is, in a sense, from a story standpoint at least, I do want to point this out, is what makes Michael the boogeyman. It's his stalking, it's his methodical stalking of the people he's going to kill. It's the methodical stalking of the houses. He's there 1 minute, he's gone the next. He's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It, John's Halloween does give Michael Myers this larger than life feel, even in one movie. And he feels like a boogeyman. He feels like this force to be reckoned with, and that's exactly what he is. He is a force to be reckoned with. Um, now, I will say, is he a clumsy killer? I would say he underestimates Laurie Strode, but he tends to be a clumsy killer at times in the original Halloween, more so than the sequels. He's more efficient, if you will. Now, the big question with the whole boogeyman sequence is how do the adults feel about this? Well, okay, I know Lori's not technically an adult, but I have to put her in the category of she's old enough to know, the boogeyman's not gonna come after you. So why is this woman so? Again, she doesn't know it's Michael Myers underneath that mask. Why is she so worried about this mythical figure? I'm not talking about Michael. I'm talking about the boogeyman. This mythical figure potentially being after her. What? Why would she think that? It's very interesting. It's very interesting because from the adult standpoint, the adults themselves don't literally mention the boogeyman by name or anything else. The to get into the haunting aspect of what this video is about too is the one thing that they mention is when Sheriff Lee Brackett and Doctor uh, Sam Loomis, played by actor Donald Pleasance, uh, pull up to the Myers house, and Donald Pleasance, and you could tell he hasn't been to the Myers house ever, because he says, "Anybody live here?" No, not since the attack in 1963. Not since Judith's death. Kids in Sheriff Brackett says the kids in Haddonfield think this place is haunted. And Donald Pleasance's Sam Loomis says, "You may be right." He knows. He knows he is. There's something going there. When I say something evil lurks in that house, people are saying I'm meaning Michael, and no, I'm not. There's this, just from a television standpoint, there's something spiritual about that house that is really interesting. Uh, from the look from the look outside of it to the look inside when they find the dead dog, there's just something eerie about the Myers place. Not just the fact that Judas died there, but the emptiness of the rooms really makes you feel kind of whole and like what what happened here. If you're a fan, you know what happened. Now, is the Myers house haunted? No. Again, we don't see a literal ghost. Now, does that mean none are around? No, it doesn't. They just might not be showing themselves, um, uh, which is interesting. I do feel that the Myers house being this haunted entity is something that works in people's favor, obviously. um, I from the boogeyman standpoint, is Michael the boogeyman? No, I want to say this from the story sense, yes, and I've touched upon that before. I would initially say no, he's not, because there's enough characters that suggest he isn't, and both those characters are Tommy Doyle and Laurie Strode. Tommy Doyle is even questioning about who the boogeyman. Uh, and I think too, we all talk about Michael's mask being this shape, the faceless sort of expressions. There were no expressions. I think that sort of fits into the boogeyman plot line too. When you think about it, you know, it makes sense for him to wear not just a mask, but a mask that is very haunting. That helps with the boogeyman persona. Um, really, really good uh, idea there. I do think the town of Haddonfield itself, whether you think there's a cult or not, does seem to be hiding something. I'm not just talking Michael. You can't hide Michael Myers. He's too busy hiding himself to get ready to strike. The town of Haddonfield, the adults itself seem to. I don't want to say they're hiding something deliberately. They may be hiding something indeliberately or indirectly, but they don't really acknowledge the existence of the boogeyman as an adult. The only person who acknowledges the boogeyman, there's only a couple characters who will acknowledge the boogeyman's existence: Laurie Strode, Tommy Doyle, and Dr. Sam Loomis. But Sam is more answering Laurie's question. You know, what's boogeyman? Was it the boogeyman? There's, there's a lot of problems in that town. Are they ghost related? That jury, my friends, is still out. And it may forever be out, too. I think it's a very, very interesting town. I want to get your thoughts. Is the town of Haddonfield haunted? We know Dark Shadows is haunted. We're going to do a video tomorrow night. You folks have a great night. And again, I hope you're enjoying your October spooky season.